have to be willing to do whatever it takes. It's not easy. If it was, as they say, everyone would do it. You have to be willing to work through the failures to get to success. My name is Bill Leah, and I am an owner partner in the Leah Group companies. My father in 1979 had an opportunity to come and be a partner in a small auto dealership with Honda. Really took a big risk, moved his family up from Brooklyn. I was young at the time, and as we grew up, we learned a lot just by being around the business. I graduated Siena in 1990, and I was a finance and accounting major. While we were at school, my brother Michael and I, also Siena grad, were learning business, but then in the summers we both would work and learn more about the business from our father. My first business venture outside the auto business was a fitness center in 1991, so just a year after I graduated. Michael and I, we were looking through some magazines about franchising, and I saw something about a Gold's Gym franchise opportunity and just inquired. It's a franchise, it's Gold's Gym, there's no franchised fitness centers in the capital region, and we think it's an opportunity. That was really our first venture from the ground up of building a company. We were Gold's Gym for 23 years, and then in 2013, 2014, we just decided it was time for us to create our own brand that was really kind of more in tune with the times and appealed towards people that were looking for fitness, not necessarily just bodybuilding. And so we converted over and created Vent Fitness, Guilderland, Latham, Clifton Park, and then Siena, so we still have those 4 locations. So the Leah Group companies is our parent company, and then we have multiple companies under that. I started working in the company really again in college, high school. We had some different jobs throughout the summers. Just out of college, became much more involved in the daily operations of the dealerships. My first big management role was I became general manager of what at the time the Honda dealership that we're in today was called Albany City Honda. From there, transitioned into a role as we went on to buy more stores and grow the company, started to get more involved in kind of the management of the entire group with our father. And so there's 21 locations. We span from Rockland, New York to Brewster, Kingston, and then the capital region. We've got a cluster of stores here, Glens Falls, we have a store in Buffalo, Hartford. That's pretty much the footprint. As far as brands go, Honda, Toyota, Nissan, Hyundai, Volkswagen, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Infiniti. Our average location today employs anywhere between 75 to 85 employees. I've tried to expand some of our business outside of the auto business. I've taken lead on many of those. We talked about the fitness business. We also entered into restaurant industry. We purchased 2 BurgerFi franchises. About 10 years ago, we started in that industry. 7 years ago, I created an insurance agency that we serve our customers in the auto business, but have really evolved now to where about 50% of our business is coming from outside of the dealerships, from just the general market. About 15 years ago, I got my real estate license and started pursuing real estate opportunities beyond the dealerships. Since then, we've accumulated about 13 different properties, about 500,000 square feet of gross leasable area. I think for each business that we're involved with, I have separate goals and objectives that we're trying to hit. The auto business, we've grown sales volume, profitability, our customer base, and go from being a company that sold at one point 15,000 cars to, in our highest year, we were selling 30,000 cars and doing $1 billion in revenue. That was one of those milestones where we had always talked about that, and so it was nice to be able to accomplish that.
Leah Toyota of Wilbraham today presented a $5,000 check to the Salvation Army's Coats for Kids drive.
I would say some of the things that I'm most proud of, frankly, are some of the charitable things we've done. Being successful has allowed us to be involved in the communities that we serve in ways that go above and beyond just writing a check. Back in 2015, I was the Leukemia Lymphoma Society Man of the Year. That led to a 8-year commitment that I've now continued with LLS as their board chair. American Cancer Society is another organization that we've worked very close with, the Junior Diabetes Research Foundation. More recently, the Alzheimer's Association. I think it's just, you get put in a position and you realize there's all these terrible things out there that you might be able to make a difference. I'm blessed to have the opportunities to wake up every day and kind of have to tackle different challenges, and I think that's what it is. I really enjoy the idea of taking the idea and bringing it to reality. One of the things that I learned early on was that success isn't guaranteed regardless of how much money you have, regardless of how great an idea you have, and you have to know going in that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, the odds are kind of stacked against you. Failure might happen, and that doesn't define you. I don't do anything alone. We've got, as I mentioned before, about 1,500 people in the organization. We're still a family business at our core, and that's been a blessing again to have all of our family. And surrounding myself with great people has been a big part of how I've been able to be successful. My family, my 4 children, my wife. I think some of the values that they have, I hope, have been somewhat inspired by what they see, Dad doing at work in terms of putting in the time to get success, to get results. And on the charitable side, doing the right thing. We talk about integrity, right? It's doing the right thing when no one's looking. We've worked hard to instill all that in our children, and I think, that's probably the thing I'm most proud about. I guess professionally, there's things that I'm proud of that we've accomplished, but I think there's just so much more to do.